yet so many people in music and Hollywood fear this guy, Diddy, as if he's untouchable.
I've been talking to a therapist trying to help him with the shit I've been saying. It's some crazy shit. Oh, wait, maybe I said that shit about brother because he got Tupac. I thought it was the real reason to go to school that.
So according to Keefe, he's claiming that Puffy offered him $1 million to kill Suge or Tupac.
Some shocking recordings claim that P. Diddy was deeply involved in Tupac Shakur's murder. These recordings were presented in court as evidence. Another suspect in Tupac's murder, Dwayne Cafe D. Davis, says P. Diddy offered him $1 million to carry out the assassination.
So when it comes to the rumor that's been going around, man, that you might be getting arrested for the murder of Tupac, any last words?
I'm a man, I'm gonna stand tall through it all, dog. Whatever the law got to offer me, I'm gonna come through it, you know what I'm saying? I'm standing tall through it all. If you come arrest me, what the fuck I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm standing through it all. The law got me, on God got me, on that's why I'm still here and everything, dude. You know, the law got me. I'm not worried about that or nothing like that. What I'm gonna do? If they do come arrest me, all I wanna do is just try to do the best, hire me some good attorneys and try to get up out there. They would have never found out everything. All that shit was a big cross, you know what I'm saying? Cross. All he did was he was in it for money gain, dude. You know what I'm saying? Nobody supposed to ever find out that bullshit. Dude was in there for money gain. And I'm done.
Key D has disclosed that Puffy was under FBI surveillance at the Vibe party the night Biggie Smalls died. The FBI has had their eye on him for a while. And now it seems like the right moment for them to charge him with murder in connection to Tupac's death.
Out there, boom. It was like, they gave us like 12 tickets. And we had like 18 people, so I had to go converse with Puff. And Gene Dill and them had the shit roped off. Him and that dude from the lot, just the big dude from the lot.
Sheik Luch?
He kind of looked like Gene Dill. Suge Luch.
Yeah, Sheik Luch.
Sheik Luch, yeah, they had it kind of roped off. They knew who I was. So I asked Puff for some more tickets to get the people in. And he like, big dog, he like, Feds is in this building. They've been following us since we got off the plane. He said, the hip hop police, the Feds. I said, for real? He like, yeah. So I don't want y'all to catch y'all heat. I got some bottles. He gave us like 5 or 6 bottles. We went over to the other side of the room and started smoking our weed. So Biggs, I converted with Biggs. Biggs wanted some of that weed because the shit was smelling real good. You know, that California shit. Look, California, you got the California orange. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. So I converted with him. He we going to the Beverly Hilton after this over with. We going to our start party first. Then we going to the Beverly Hilton. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to come. Bring some of that shit with y'all. Like, oh yeah, for sure. We you know what I'm saying? Boom. So maybe about an hour later, fire marshals came and closed down. So it was overcrowded. Came down the thing, all of them got in their cars and shit. But Biggs came up to his window. He like, big dog, y'all coming? I'm like, yeah. Gave me dap, boom, boom. Pulled out to the right, and one of my homies came running back in the thing. I'm talking about maybe about 15 seconds, 20 seconds later, homie ran back in the thing. They just killed Biggs. I'm like, what? Man, they just killed Biggs, dog. I'm like, bullshit. Shot his shit up. Like, damn, he ran back up under the parking garage. So, I didn't know. I was still waiting on my car, and all the LAPD started coming and stuff. So they got the evacuating and shit. I know most crime scenes, they lock that shit down. You know what I'm saying? They lock that shit down. And that was the last, that was a sad thing about Biggs. Good dude, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he never meant no harm to nobody. Good dude, man. That was a sad thing.
So I want to backtrack to something you said, because you said when y'all was at the Vibe party, Puffy, he didn't want to be seen with y'all. Why is that? Why didn't he want to be seen with y'all?
No, he said the FBI is in their building, and they've been following them since they got off the plane from New York. They had did the Hypnotize video. The first day they did the Hypnotize video, that little boat, you know what I'm saying? Then the next day, they had, Eazy-E had a release party. He had passed away. Eazy-E had a release party. Puff was there. He was up in the VIP. I went up there and hollered at him. Boom. We got back in our cars. I think we went to see Pimp C and Bomb B. Your boy, they wanted to buy an ounce of that orange. And we went up there, I think they was in the Valencia hotel up there. We went up there and shit, sold him an ounce. And this is the first time I ever smoked a Philly blunt. I was on zigzags and shit. And he rolled up one of them motherfuckers. Your boy, the dark skinned, what's his name? The dark skinned one, Pimp C and Bomb B. Is that the dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, he rolled up a Philly. I like, man, roll me up one of them. When he passed, he lit that motherfucker. I hit that shit. I'm like, oh shit, it's way better than Zigzag. I've been hooked on every shit. That night I seen Puff. We had came down from selling them the ounce. We was in our car. Him and Vivek and Fox, all of them was walking across the parking lot. We were walking to the hotel. It was next door to the what's that shit called? Dan Aykroyd on the club, House of Blues. It was at the House of Blues. That's where he gave the release party. So this was the night before that shit.
Now, with Diddy's name being mentioned a lot in relation to Tupac's shooting, it doesn't seem like just chance. Robert Ladd shared his thoughts on whether Diddy could be found guilty for Tupac's murder, considering KD's confession.
And what he felt, this is just his opinion, was at the time, Las Vegas was trying to rebrand itself a family-friendly city. Now, these days, they've leaned all into the adult thing. Whatever. Right. When you go to Vegas, it stays in Vegas. Right. But back then, it was they're pushing circus and bring the whole family. The last thing they wanted was a whole bunch of rappers from LA shooting on the main strip, and this whole investigation to be front page news every day. We're talking about billions of dollars lost. And he felt from high up, the police department were told just to leave it alone and leave it as an unsolved case. And that's why they didn't go hard with that investigation. Do you agree or disagree?
Totally agree. We said that. I think we said that on our first interview with you 10 years ago. I believe so. Yeah, well, that's totally true. I totally agree with that.
You think Las Vegas just did not want this thing to keep going?
Yeah, they didn't know how big Tupac was or was gonna be, and they just wanted it to go away. There's no doubt in my mind.
Right.
Because I'm the one, I contacted the investigators that came out when we did our search warrant. So I know that for sure that was it.
Well, I remember I interviewed TK Kirkland, who was very close friends with Eric Von Zip. According to Keefe D, Eric Von Zip was sort of the go-between between Puffy and the Southside Crips. He even claims that Eric was the one who provided the gun the night that Tupac got killed. K. Kirkland, who lived with Eric, number one, said that he saw Eric and Keefe D hanging out together. He also saw Eric Von Zip and Puffy hang out together. I believe Von Zip and Puffy's father knew each other. He didn't see the three of them hang out, but he confirmed that Eric knew everyone involved. And he said around the time, you know, because the rumor was that Puffy sent $1 million for the murder of Tupac, but the story is that Eric Von Zip kept the money. And around that time, Eric opened up a nightclub. Which, you know, if you kind of do the math, it's kind of along the lines of that amount of money. Saying that, you know, and, you know, Keefe D has tried to put this on Puffy and everything else like that. Do you feel that Puffy will be dragged into this Tupac case, or there's no chance?
No, if you're talking about murder for hire, and it's been 27 years, and there's so much you have to prove to get some, and then you don't go after someone like Puffy unless you have a slam dunk case. He's gonna hire the best lawyers, he's gonna hire everything, so you better have your ducks in a row before you go after him. And he's surely not going to go on it based on what Keefe D has to say. You know what I'm saying? It's not, to me, it's not going to happen.
Did you ever interact with Suge Knight?
No. I mean, I knew him, seen him. You know, he used to come into Compton every so often, but I didn't have much, because he didn't gangbang, you know? He wasn't out there. But I didn't have much interaction with Suge Knight.
Holes is definitely responsible for Tupac's murder. You don't need to be a psychology expert to see it in his body language in the video.
It was a documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are we don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect. But I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to kill Pac? But no, you have to do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense, like, you know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
What you never believe, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
D. Scrubs is attempting to silence anyone who has information about it. There's a belief that a murder attempt was made against Meek for threatening to reveal information about P. Diddy. The police are still investigating the cause of the accident as well.
Look at this shit right here. Why the whole fucking brake pedal came off. The first day? I never seen no car the first day the brake pedal came off.
Think about Allie Carter, who was mistreated while traveling underground and saw horrific rituals involving powerful people. Remember when she tried to talk about it, but everyone dismissed her as crazy because of some nonsense about piddles?
There were shrines used for rituals. There's bloody places. There's parts where there's limbs. People cut off limbs and want you to have sex in it. There's blood. There's blood that I don't even know who it belongs to. There's a lot.
So So hang on. So someone like the people that you've named are here at these shrines where there is human flesh, bones, human body parts, and they want people to participate in orgies in amongst all of this human blood. Is that a satanic ritual feces? Is this a satanic ritual that they are participating in?
Yes. Yes, there's people who want to, there's people who have sex with animals, dead animals. I was taken and told that I had to give a blowjob to Biden.
So Joe Biden was there at this shrine.
Something happened. I don't know what happened. I was down there for a while. There's certain people that you don't talk about because you just don't. There were certain people that I seen down there, from Beyonce, Jay-Z, you don't tell on P. Diddy, but P. Diddy.
So you said you don't tell on these people. Is that like a code that all victims adhere to? They don't talk about this stuff?
Yes, you don't, because nobody's gonna believe you. You're nothing to them. You don't count. You're just a toy. You're not essential, as they call them. You're expendable. And as a child in that situation, I wasn't the type of person that was fighting all the time, because I started to learn who I was. I started to learn my pimp. I started to learn what I was in. I started to learn that you don't fight. You watch what you say, you watch what you do. And at some point I stopped fighting people, and I started to accept the fact of what I was told, that I was special enough to be with this person. I was special enough to be in the eyes of a celebrity or somebody who's on the radio or on TV, and I accepted.
Okay, so Greg Kading, who looked into the killings of rappers Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, thinks the accusations might be true. He shared that Keffe D called him after Tupac's murder, giving us some insight.
And so there was a relationship. And so yeah, they've got to retaliate so they don't look like, a weak gang. And two, they owe it to them.
Well, the way Mob James also explained it to me was that,
a lot of people ask me, well, if y'all know Orlando did it, why y'all didn't get Orlando? Number one, Orlando didn't sit in one spot.
Right. Orlando knew that you guys know that he did it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he didn't sit in one spot and sit on the corner and smoke weed and say, I'm waiting on these mom niggas to come to kill me.
Right.
No, he wasn't in his hood. He didn't hang out like that.
Can you talk about that whole situation afterwards?
Yeah, so they realize, the Southside Crips and Orlando Anderson, Keffe D, they know that, hey, we just hit this dude in Las Vegas, and it's on. It's a green light. And so you hunker down and you get your guns and you anticipate that there's going to be drive-by shootings or confrontation, or you kind of check out for a bit. If you have a place to hole up outside the city, then you do that. But at the same time, these guys are very self-assured and they believe in the strength of their gang, and they're violent and willing to take action. So, they also, it's part of that gang life, and they kind of embrace that. And so, to be involved in these shootings and everything, it just builds up the whole, it just builds up the whole respect and perception of your gang.
So according to you, Tupac gets killed by the Southside Crips.
He gets killed by Orlando Anderson, who's a member of the Southside Crips.
Exactly. Now, earlier you said that Puffy put out this claim of, I'll pay $1 million if you get rid of Tupac and Chug. Tupac is now gone. What happened in terms of Keffe, Orlando, and Diddy at this point?
So immediately in the aftermath, Diddy hears about the shooting, finds out that there's, Tupac's been shot and he's in the hospital in Las Vegas. According to Keffe D, he gets a phone call. He's actually with Zip, the intermediary, and they're back in LA, and Zip takes a phone call, and it's Puffy on the other end of the line, hands the phone to Keffe D, and Puffy asks him, man, is that us? Is it just happened out there? Keffe D's like, yeah.
Okay. So then there's that $1 million.
So now there's this expectation of, $500,000.
So what happens next?
What happens next is, Keefe D's already under a separate investigation for his ongoing drug trafficking. He never gets a chance to hook back up with Puffy until almost, 6 months later, or he's over at the Peterson Auto Museum when Puffy's back out here with Biggie, and he walks up to him to have a conversation about it. Well, Puffy's aware that the FBI's been watching him out here in Los Angeles, and the last thing he wants to do is be directly associated with this guy that he's had this agreement with to commit a murder. He tells Keefe D, no, man, now's not the time. We're good right now, and you got the FBI, got the feds all over me. That's his statement. Keefe D recognizes, okay, cool. It's probably not a good idea for us to be, associating in public together. There's a lot of heat on because of the Tupac investigation, both on the East Coast, West Coast, LA, Las Vegas. And so it's just good business not to be, seen in public with a guy that you've conspired to commit a murder with, especially when you know you're being watched by police.
Do they ever have a conversation?